So the first thing I want to talk about today are solutions that were brought up by different languages to the problems that we were discussing till now. The first actual solution I want to talk about, which is I think is a very interesting solution, is Pascal's dispose function, which is the equivalent of the C++ delete function or dealloc or all those, the same idea. And the interesting thing about the dispose function is that it actually doesn't do anything. Meaning, when you call the dispose, the runtime behind says okay, and actually does not do anything. And that's a very interesting concept, because in a sense, what they are doing is they are creating an intentional memory leak in order to not to have dangling pointers. What does that mean? So let's take a look at the way the picture would look. Just imagine you have some pointer pointing to some heap variable, and we have another pointer pointing to the same heap variable, and we call dispose on A, right? So we call dispose on A, and we write something like dispose A, right? Dispose A. So what we're actually doing is we are disconnecting this, and actually before we disconnect it, we were actually planning on doing that. Now, if we do that, we're actually getting a dangling pointer, because pointer B believes that it's pointing towards some data that's not there anymore. That's exactly a classical dangling pointer problem. So the dispose function decided to actually not do this. And it just disconnects, and we just disconnect the link over here. Now notice what happens. If B tries to access the data, no problem. It's still there, right? It's still there. And we don't actually have any problem. So here's a language that had to pick and choose between the dangling pointer problem and the memory leak problem. And it chose not to have a dangling pointer at the expense of a memory leak. Now you might ask, where's the memory leak? And the answer is very simple. The next time you write dispose B, and you disconnect the link, so this will be disconnected, but this memory won't go anywhere. It still stays there. We're actually accumulating garbage. And the reason why we're doing it is in order that we should not have dangling pointers. So I think this is a very interesting concept that some language implemented in order to actually solve one problem at the expense of the other problem.